Russian Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryko says Moscow has not ruled out meetings with the United States for achieving strategic stability. The two nations are all set to hold crucial talks regarding the new strategic arms reduction treaty in Egypt between November 29 and December 6. If the Americans show interest and readiness, we will not refuse, the Deputy Foreign Minister says. In 2021, both the US and Russia agreed to extend their nuclear arms control pact for 5 more years, but Moscow did not allow American authorities to inspect its nuclear site under the terms of the agreement. While the conversations are expected to mainly include topics of strategic stability, Rykov made it clear that Russia will not have any conversation regarding the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russia has expressed optimism regarding a prisoner swap that includes American basketball star Brittney Griner. The Kremlin says that Griner can't be sent to the US in an exchange of arms dealer Victor Bout, who is currently serving 25 years in prison on a 2012 conviction. In an earlier report, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan reportedly called on Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday to watch his manners and accusations of Russia's involvement in the explosion in the Polish town. Shortly after the news broke, President Zelensky delivered his usual evening speech in which he referred to the explosion in the neighboring country and accused Russia of having launched the missiles that hit Poland near the Ukrainian border. The Ukrainian head of state also defined what happened as a very significant escalation in the conflict, as it would be the first direct hit on a member country of the Atlantic Alliance since the outbreak of the war, and called for measures to be taken.
Alright, so basically this is today's update on the Russia-Ukraine war, and then you could realize that Russia says that it's open for some conversation between themselves and Ukraine, but that must be done on the soil of the US. Russia has sent a clear message that it is open to talks with regards to peace with the US, and that it wouldn't want to host such a meeting on the soil of Ukraine, but it's willing to do that in the United States. Of course, why will you ask, or why, if you're thinking about why he wants it to be done in the United States? Of course, we all know that these conflicts, there are visible and invisible forces behind the war. You know the stance of NATO, and then you know the position of US in the whole NATO arrangement. So one of the pillars of this war, the pillar behind Ukraine, is the United States. With regards to logistics and the likes, it is the United States that is providing. So if there is going to be any peace talk, I'm sure that it's a step in the right direction for Russia to start negotiation with the US, because if there is some level of consensus with the US, will just trickle down to Ukraine. At the end of the day, the subject of discussion will be the Russia-Ukraine war, and then the US is playing a major role. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if US stops supplying Ukraine with equipment, ammunitions, and the likes, the war will just come to an end, because Ukraine can't stand Russia in any way, in any how, in any moment. It just can't happen. At this point in time, what has really sustained the war is a matter of the US and NATO supplying Ukraine with logistics. So basically, we'll say this is a good call. We are hopeful that it will happen, and then we can breathe some peace, or there can be a breathing space for us to enjoy some level of peace. Of course, that is not the only conditions, or that is not the only request of Russia. Russia is equally optimistic that it can release America's basketball star Brittney Griner, and then if Russia wants to release that star, it should be in exchange of the arm dealer Victor Bout, who is also equally serving 25 years in prison in the United States of America. So there will be that kind of exchange. So I'm sure that with the US basketball star issue also became one of the controversial issues when they wanted Russia to release him. And so for Russia showing that level of willingness to do that, I'm sure Russia indeed is ready to have some level of conversation to move towards peace, or to move towards ensuring that the whole war comes down. When so when an explosion happened We'll take it again. Of course, don't also forget that when the Poland explosion happened, Zelensky was accusing Russia of instigating that. In fact, research has been done, and then we can all prove, or it is a known fact, it's an open secret that that was not Russia. And so Zelensky is being warned that he should be careful with the left, right, center accusation that he has been doing. It's not helping anyone. Before you lay or before you accuse anyone, it has to be factual. So Zelensky has been also advised in that direction.
Okay, so Kwame, I want to add that now, you know that in every war situation, there are captured soldiers. Russia has captured Ukraine soldiers. Ukraine has also captured Russia's soldiers. What is happening at the moment is that the Ukrainian soldiers who have captured the Russian soldiers have now shot and killed them. They've actually killed the Russian soldiers, videoed them, and have spread it on social media. This is what is happening now. So my submission is this. What if Russia does the same? Will it be considered as fair?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the latest update concerning the Russia-Ukraine war. My name is Kwame Ofair. Log in or subscribe. Kwame Ofair exclusive anytime, any day. We're bringing you all the latest on the Russia-Ukraine war.